New York City night. The streets are slick with rain as cars zoom past, their headlights slicing through the darkness. The city that never sleeps feels like a giant machine, constantly moving, constantly working. But inside one of the sleek, black SUVs, cutting through the rain, David Carrington, the 38-year-old CEO of Carrington Enterprises, is lost in thought. David is a man who has always been in control, whose empire, his image, and his life. His life is a well-oiled machine, and every decision he makes impacts thousands of people. But tonight, as the rain falls heavily against the windows of his luxury car, his mind is elsewhere. Sophia, his ex-girlfriend, the woman he had loved and who had left him when he had nothing, haunts his thoughts again. Sophia had walked away from him when he was at his lowest, choosing the comfort of wealth over the man who loved her. After he became a billionaire, he never thought of her again, but deep down, the wound of being abandoned still stings. David shakes his head, trying to push the thoughts away. He's about to close a major deal for the company, and his mind should be on business, not on the past. But before he can push deeper into his thoughts, the car swerves suddenly. The driver loses control, and in an instant, the world spins wildly as the SUV crashes into a lamppost, throwing David forward, his seatbelt snapping tight. The sound of glass shattering and metal twisting fills his ears as the car comes to a jolting stop. Hospital. A few hours later, David wakes up with a sharp pain in his chest. His head feels foggy, and his vision is blurred. The first thing he notices is the sterile white light above him and the constant beep of machines. His body feels heavy, his limbs unresponsive. He tries to sit up, but the pain in his chest is too much. He's injured, badly. He can feel the pain radiating from his ribs, and he's unable to move his right leg. A nurse enters the room, looking at him with surprise. "Mr. Carrington, you're awake. You've been in a car accident. Don't try to move. You've suffered multiple injuries, and you need rest." David's mind is clouded. He doesn't remember much, but the pieces slowly start to fall into place. The crash, the shock of the impact. His company, what happened to his company? What about the merger? His thoughts are spiraling. The nurse helps him adjust in bed, and just as she's about to leave, a voice stops her. "Where's my family? Where's someone I know?" David asks, his voice strained. The nurse hesitates. You didn't have any family here, Mr. Carrington. You've been alone since the accident. We did contact your assistant, but..." David stares at her, a strange emptiness filling him. No one had come for him. Not his mother, not his brother, not anyone. The loneliness that he's felt creeping in for years suddenly hits him all at once. He'd built an empire, but he had no one to share it with. His wealth, his power, it all seemed meaningless now. Before he can dwell on the thought, the door opens again. This time, it's not a nurse or a family member. It's Rachel Miller, a woman he doesn't recognize, but whose face looks strangely familiar. Hospital room, moments later. Rachel is standing by the door, her expression soft but serious. She's wearing a simple jacket and jeans, looking like she just stepped in from the rain outside. Rachel walks towards the bed, her eyes scanning his injuries before meeting his gaze. "I'm Rachel. I was passing by when I saw the accident. I couldn't just leave you there. I called the ambulance." She pauses, looking at him carefully. "I don't know you, Mr. Carrington, but I couldn't leave you alone." David looks at her in confusion. "Who are you? Why did you help me?" His voice is raspy, but there's a tinge of surprise in it. Most people, especially in his world, would have ignored him in a situation like this. Rachel looks at him quietly. I saw the accident, and I just acted. You were alone, and I couldn't leave you. She reaches for the glass of water beside his bed, offering it to him gently. It's okay. You're safe now. David stares at her, feeling a mix of gratitude and disbelief. She's just a stranger, yet she's the only one who has cared enough to be here. No family, no one from his high society circles. Just Rachel, a woman who's clearly not part of his world. Rachel sits down beside him. You've been through a lot. I'll stay here until you're stable. It's the least I can do. David watches her carefully, his mind racing. She's not after his wealth. She's not trying to impress him or get something from him. There's nothing fake about her. And for the first time in a long while, David feels like he can actually breathe. Maybe it's because of the pain. Or maybe it's the fact that she's the first person to truly care for him in a long time. As she leaves the room to check on the nurse, David lies back, his thoughts racing. He knows he should be thinking about his business, his company, but instead, his mind keeps returning to Rachel. Why did she care enough to help him? What does she want? And more importantly, how does she make him feel like he's not alone? David's life has always been one of control and calculation, but something about Rachel's presence makes him want to let go, even if only a little. But he can't ignore the truth. He's a man who has everything, and yet, in this moment, he realizes that he's missing the one thing that matters most: human connection. Hospital room, the following day. The sun streams through the window, casting a soft light over David's room. The morning air is fresh, and for the first time in a while, David feels an odd sense of peace, a peace he hasn't felt despite all his wealth. His body aches, but it's not the physical pain that's consuming him today. It's the emotional discomfort that comes with the realization that he's not alone, that there is someone who cares. David shifts in bed, his thoughts heavy. Rachel, he still doesn't fully understand why she decided to help him, why she stayed by his side in the hospital, despite having no connection to him. He has spent his life being surrounded by people who want something from him: business partners, socialites, acquaintances, but Rachel is different. She hasn't asked for anything, hasn't even tried to impress him. She just ... cares. His phone buzzes, bringing him back to reality. It's a message from Lily, his assistant. Aidan, the board is expecting an update today. The meeting is at 3 p.m. Please confirm when you'll be available. David stares at the screen, the weight of his company's demands immediately pulling him back into the world he has spent years building. Carrington Enterprises isn't just a company, it's his life, his legacy. But for a brief moment, he wishes he could ignore it all, wish he could just stay here, recover, and figure out what comes next. His thoughts are interrupted as the door opens. Rachel walks in, a warm smile on her face. She's holding a tray of food, a simple gesture, but to David, it feels like a lifeline. Morning, Mr. Carrington. How are you feeling today? Rachel asks, her voice gentle yet full of concern. David looks up at her, a faint smile tugging at his lips. He has never been one to let others see him vulnerable, but something about Rachel makes him want to be more open, more real. Morning, Rachel. I'm better, I think. Still in pain, but I'm glad you're here. He pauses, his tone softening. I owe you so much for what you did. I don't even know why you helped me. Rachel sets the tray down beside him, sitting on the edge of his bed. I just did what anyone would have done. I couldn't just leave you there, hurt and alone. Her eyes meet his with a sincerity that makes his heart skip a beat. I'm just glad you're okay. You don't have to thank me. David can feel his defenses crumbling, the walls he spent years building around himself starting to loosen. There's something about Rachel, something that makes him feel human again, something that makes him feel real. Not just a powerful CEO. Hospital later that day, David is finally discharged from the hospital, but he's still far from fully recovered. His body is sore, and he can't help but feel the weight of his injuries. Rachel offers to drive him home, and he reluctantly agrees. The drive is quiet, but there's an undeniable connection between them now, something that wasn't there before. David feels like he can open up, but he's unsure of how to begin. As they drive through the city streets, David can't help but look over at Rachel. Her gentle demeanor and the way she carries herself remind him of everything he's been missing. He's always been surrounded by people, but they were never the right kind of people. Rachel is different. She doesn't see him as a trophy or a business asset. She sees him as a human being. "Thank you, Rachel, for everything," he says quietly, breaking the silence. "I don't know how to express how much it means to me that you've stayed with me through all this." Rachel glances at him, her eyes soft. "You don't have to say anything, David. I'm just doing what anyone would do. You're a good person, and I'm just glad to see you getting better." David feels a lump in his throat at her words. Good person. It's been so long since anyone has called him that. He's used to being seen as the CEO, the businessman, the man with everything. But with Rachel, he feels like he's finally being seen for who he truly is. Just David, Adon's mansion, evening. The mansion feels empty, even with all its luxury. David sits in his expansive living room, staring out at the city below, lost in thought. His leg is propped up, his body still weak from the accident. His mind, however, is racing. Rachel has been the only one who stayed by his side through all of this. He thinks about how icily she slipped into his life and how quickly he's come to rely on her presence. He knows that he shouldn't be feeling the way he does, but he can't deny it. He feels a connection, a pull toward her that he's never felt before. His phone buzzes again, snapping him out of his thoughts. It's a message from Sophia. "David, I've been thinking. I made a mistake. I want to try again. Can we meet?" David feels a wave of annoyance wash over him. He hasn't heard from Sophia in months, and now she's suddenly reaching out, wanting to rekindle things. He's done with her, with the woman who left him when he had nothing, who used him for his status. He tosses his phone on the couch and leans back, his mind now focused on one thing: Rachel. She's been the only one to show him what real compassion and kindness are. She's been the one to make him feel like he can let go of the past and move forward. Rachel's calf the next morning. Rachel is working, as usual, though she feels a sense of anticipation in the air. She knows she's been thinking about David, wondering what he's going through, what he's feeling. She knows he's still recovering, but there's something else, something about him that feels different now. She's cleaning the counter when the door chimes. She looks up to see David standing in the doorway, dressed in his usual sharp suit, but there's a change in him, a certain softness that wasn't there before. He walks over to her, a small smile on his face. "I wanted to see you today." His voice is steady but filled with warmth. Rachel smiles, her heart fluttering. "I'm glad you're here. I was starting to think you were avoiding me." David laughs softly, the sound deep and genuine. I've been avoiding myself, honestly. He pauses, then his expression shifts, becoming more serious. I want to thank you, Rachel. You've been more than just someone who helped me through the accident. You've made me feel like I'm more than just a businessman, more than just my wealth. You've made me feel like I'm me again. Rachel's heart races. She looks at him, her voice soft. You are more than just your wealth, David. You are a good person, and you deserve to be happy. David takes a deep breath, his gaze steady. I think I'm ready to let someone in, Rachel. I'm ready to stop being afraid. Rachel feels her chest tighten. He's ready to take a chance on them. The realization hits her hard. She wants this. She wants him. And she's ready to be with him, not because of his wealth, but because of who he truly is. Then let's do this. David, let's take a chance on something real. David smiles, his heart lighter than it's been in years. He reaches out, taking her hand in his. For the first time in a long time, he feels like he's made the right choice. Choice for love, for something that doesn't need to be controlled. They stand there for a moment, the weight of everything between them shifting. Together, they are ready to face whatever comes next, knowing that they are no longer alone. Idon's mansion, late morning. The mansion is quiet, but there's a sense of unease in the air. Aidan stands in front of his window, gazing out at the bustling city below. His mind is filled with conflicting thoughts about Rachel, about his past, and about the future they might build together. He feels a sense of relief in his chest, but also a lingering fear. Can he really move past his walls and let her in completely? His phone buzzes on the desk. It's a message from Sophia. She's been reaching out more often lately, asking for his attention, trying to rekindle something he thought was long gone. But he ignores it. He doesn't want to be distracted by his past anymore. Rachel is his present and he is determined to make this work. But the truth remains, he's still scared. Scared that he'll lose her like he lost everything else. Just then, his thoughts are interrupted by a knock on the door. David. Rachel's voice calls out softly. He turns to see her standing in the doorway, holding a cup of coffee. Her eyes meet his, and for a moment, the world outside seems to disappear. I thought you might need this. She smiles, walking over to the desk and placing the coffee in front of him. The warmth of the cup contrasts with the coldness he's feeling inside. Thank you. His voice is a little rougher than usual, his emotions barely held in check. He looks at her for a moment, his mind still racing with all the things he's afraid to say. Rachel sits down beside him, her eyes full of understanding. You've been quiet. I can tell something is on your mind. David shifts in his seat, his thoughts still tangled. It's just ... everything. He pauses, trying to gather his words. We've made so much progress, but sometimes I wonder if I'm ready for this. To truly be with someone, to not be afraid anymore. He runs a hand through his hair, a hint of frustration in his expression. I've always had control of my life, of my business, but now it feels like I'm out of control. Rachel reaches out, placing a gentle hand on his. It's okay to be afraid, David, but you don't have to go through this alone. She meets his gaze with a calm that soothes him. And for the first time in a long time, he feels like he doesn't have to pretend to be someone he's not. She accepts him, all of him, including his fears. I don't want to mess this up, Rachel. I don't want to hurt you. His voice is quiet, almost vulnerable. But I don't know how to let go. Rachel smiles softly, her voice warm and comforting. You don't have to let go all at once. We can take it one step at a time. But you have to trust me and trust yourself. David stares at her, feeling a rush of emotions. She's right. He's been holding on to his past, his fears, and they've been keeping him from something real. He takes a deep breath, setting the coffee down and turning fully toward her. I want this, Rachel. I want to try. His voice is more confident now, the weight of his walls slowly melting away. Chloe's calf, later that afternoon. Chloe is behind the counter, serving coffee to customers as usual. Her thoughts, however, are occupied by Aiden. Since their talk that morning, she's felt an overwhelming sense of hope. She feels like they're finally starting to build something real, something that could last. But at the same time, she can't help but worry about the uncertainty in the air. Chloe knows David's baggage. She knows that he's been through a lot. But that doesn't change how she feels about him. She's willing to take the chance, even though she's been burned before. As she finishes preparing a coffee, she looks up and sees David entering the cafe. He's not wearing his usual suit and tie. Today, he's in a casual jacket, his sleeves rolled up. He looks different, more relaxed, more approachable, more real. Hey, Chloe, he says, his voice soft but steady. Hi, Aiden, she smiles, her heart racing a little. What brings you here today? David walks up to the counter and looks at her with an expression that's both familiar and new. I was hoping we could talk. Outside of this place, Chloe feels her heart skip. This is it, she thinks. He's finally ready to take their relationship to the next level. She nods, stepping out from behind the counter. I'd like that, a quiet park evening. David and Chloe walk side by side through a small park near the cafe. The air is cool, but the evening sun provides a gentle warmth. It's quiet, and for the first time, they can speak without the distractions of the cafe or his busy life. They walk in comfortable silence, the weight of their conversation from earlier still in the air. David looks at Chloe, his hands buried deep in his pockets. I've been thinking about everything, about us. He pauses, taking a deep breath. I've been afraid for a long time, Chloe, afraid of losing control, of losing myself. But you make me want to take a chance. Chloe stops walking, turning to face him. Her eyes are soft, full of understanding. Aiden, I don't expect perfection. She reaches out and touches his arm gently. I just want to be with someone who's real, who's willing to share themselves with me. You don't have to have everything figured out. David looks at her, his heart swelling with gratitude. For the first time in a long time, he feels like he's found someone who truly understands him. Someone who accepts him, all of him. No pretense. No facade, he smiles, feeling a sense of relief wash over him. I want to be with you, Chloe. I don't know what the future holds, but I want to see where this goes. Chloe smiles back, her heart light. I want that too, Aiden. Let's take it one step at a time, together. They stand there for a moment, simply enjoying the quiet of the park, the warmth of their connection. For the first time in a long time, David doesn't feel like he has to rush, like he has to be someone he's not. He's ready to let go of the past and embrace whatever comes next. Chloe's cafe, morning. The familiar sound of coffee machines, steaming milk, and the soft chatter of customers fill the cafe as usual. Chloe is behind the counter, preparing drinks, but her mind is not on her work. Her thoughts keep drifting to their growing connection and the future. They've begun to build together. She feels an unexpected calmness when she's with him. For the first time in a long time, she believes in something real, in love that doesn't have to be perfect. But despite her happiness, there's a lingering feeling of nervousness inside her. They've had their share of heart-to-hearts, but the reality of being with a man like Aiden, a man with his past, his success, and his secrets, still weighs on her. Just as she's lost in thought, the door chimes, and a figure walks in. Aiden. He's dressed in his usual well-tailored suit, but there's something different today. His face is slightly tense, and she can see a hint of hesitation in his eyes. He walks up to the counter, his smile forced, though it softens when he sees her. "Hey Chloe." "Hey Aiden." Chloe smiles, but she can't ignore the slight unease in his demeanor. "How are you?" He hesitates before answering. "I've been better." His voice is low, his usual confident tone replaced by a quiet vulnerability. "Can we talk?" Chloe feels a jolt of concern. Something is different. "Of course." Chloe escaf later. They sit down in the small corner booth where Aiden often sits. The air between them thick with unspoken words. Chloe watches him closely as he fidgets with his coffee cup, clearly not at ease. Aiden takes a deep breath, his gaze flickering between Chloe and the table. "I think it's time I told you something. Something you should know." His voice is steady but filled with emotion. Chloe's heart skips a beat. She's not sure where this conversation is going, but she knows it's important. "What is it, Aiden?" He looks at her, his eyes filled with uncertainty. "I've been avoiding my past. The truth is, I've always been afraid to face it, and now I realize I've been holding on to the wrong things. The thing is," he pauses, taking another deep breath, "before you came into my life, I was afraid of getting hurt again. I was afraid of loving someone, of letting someone close enough to see the man behind the CEO, and I think I've been pushing you away in my own way." Chloe feels a tightness in her chest, but she remains calm. "Aiden, I'm not asking for perfection." She leans forward, her voice gentle but steady. "I'm asking for you, the real you. Not the CEO, not the businessman. Just you." Aiden nods slowly, his expression serious. "I know, and that's what scares me. I've spent my life hiding behind my success, my wealth. But when I'm with you, I can't hide. I feel things I haven't felt in years, things I didn't even know I could feel anymore. And I'm scared of losing that. Scared of losing you." Chloe reaches out and takes his hand in hers, her touch soft but firm. "Aiden, I won't leave you. I won't run away, not because of your wealth, not because of your past. I'm here because I want to be here with you, not the persona you've built. You don't have to be afraid of loving again. I know you've been hurt before, but I won't hurt you." Aiden's eyes soften, and for the first time, he feels like he can breathe. The fear, the uncertainty, it's still there. But Chloe's honesty and gentleness make him believe that maybe, just maybe, he can trust again. David's mansion, late evening. David sits alone in his expansive living room, looking out at the city below. The rain patters gently against the windows, the rhythmic sound bringing a sense of calm. His mind is still reeling from his conversation with Chloe earlier today. He knows he's not ready to fully open up, but he's starting to realize that maybe he doesn't have to be perfect. He doesn't have to hide behind the walls of his wealth or his business persona. Chloe has already seen him at his weakest, and yet she stayed. She cares about him for who he is, not what he's accomplished, and that scares him, but in the best way possible. David's phone buzzes again. this time with a message from Sophia. Aidan, I know I messed up. I need to talk to you. Please, can we meet? David stares at the message, his jaw tightening. He knows what Sophia wants. She wants to reignite what they had, but that part of him is gone. He's not the same man he was when they were together. He's moved on. And yet, the message stirs something inside him, a reminder of the past. He's been trying to forget. He tosses the phone on the couch and sighs deeply. Rachel is different. Chloe is different. He's ready to move forward, to let her in, and for the first time, he feels hopeful about the future. Chloe's calf, the next day. Chloe is once again behind the counter, making coffee when the door opens. A familiar face walks in. It's Aidan, but today, he's carrying something different about him. He's more open, more relaxed. He walks toward her with a determined look in his eyes. Chloe looks up as Aidan approaches. He doesn't say anything at first, but his eyes tell her everything. He's come to a decision. He's finally ready to face the future with her. Chloe, I've thought about everything. I've thought about us, and I want to make this work. I'm ready to stop hiding. Chloe smiles softly, her heart swelling with emotion. She's been waiting for this moment, and now that it's here, it feels like everything is falling into place. I want that too, Aidan. I'm ready to move forward, together, for the first time in a long time. Aidan feels peace. He's made the right choice. No more running. It's time to face the future, and he knows Chloe will be by his side. Chloe's calf, early afternoon. The cafe is bustling with customers, but Chloe feels an uneasy tension in the air today. Aidan hasn't texted or called as much as usual, and though she understands that he's been busy, she can't shake the feeling that something is off. Their connection has been growing stronger, but she wonders if it's all just moving too fast. She needs answers. Chloe wipes down the counter, her thoughts racing. What is it that Aidan's not telling me? She wonders. She hasn't pushed him for more details about his past yet, and maybe that's been her mistake. Maybe I should have asked more questions. Maybe he's still carrying baggage he hasn't shared. She takes a deep breath, trying to focus on the work in front of her, but her mind keeps returning to Aidan. He's been kind, generous, and vulnerable with her, but there are moments when she sees a glimpse of something else in him, something guarded, something he's trying to hide. The door chimes, and Chloe looks up, her breath catching in her chest when she sees Aidan walking in. He looks different, today more distant, like something is weighing heavily on him. His usual smile is nowhere to be found, replaced by a look of concern. Aidan. Chloe greets him, trying to keep her tone light, though she feels a knot in her stomach. Is everything okay? He doesn't respond immediately, his eyes scanning the cafe, before meeting hers. His voice is a little lower than usual. Can we talk? Chloe is calf later, at a quiet corner booth. Chloe sits across from Aidan, her hands resting on the table as she waits for him to speak. She feels the tension between them, and though she's not sure what's bothering him, she knows something has changed. Aidan takes a deep breath before speaking. I need to tell you something. Something from my past. I've been avoiding it because I didn't want to burden you, but I think it's time, you know. Chloe nods, her heart beating faster. What is this? She thinks. What is he about to tell me? Aidan looks down at his hands for a moment, clearly struggling to find the words. You know about Sophia, right? He asks quietly. Chloe feels a pang of jealousy stir inside her, though she tries to keep it under control. You mean your ex? The one who she stops herself, not wanting to sound like she's questioning him. But I know it's important. Aidan nods slowly. Yes, she's the one who left me when I had nothing. When I was still trying to make something of myself. And when I became successful, she came back. She wanted me to take her back, but I didn't. I couldn't. Not after everything. He looks up at her, his eyes filled with a mix of anger and sadness. I thought I had gotten over it, Chloe, but I've realized I haven't, and it's still eating at me. Chloe listens, her heart aching for him. She's never asked about Sophia, but now, as she hears the pain in Iadon's voice, she realizes how much his past has shaped him. He's never truly been able to let go of her, and it's affecting the way he's opening up to Chloe. Aidan, I'm not Sophia. Chloe's voice is soft but steady. She reaches across the table, placing her hand on his. You don't need to carry that with you anymore. You don't need to compare me to her. I'm here for you, just as you are, with all your baggage and your pain. Aidan looks at her, his eyes softening. Chloe doesn't want anything from him. She just wants to love him, to help him heal, and for the first time, he believes her. The realization is both terrifying and comforting. I'm sorry, Chloe. I've been holding on to so much. I've been so scared of letting anyone in because I didn't want to go through that kind of hurt again. But you make me want to try, even though it's hard. Chloe smiles gently, her heart swelling with affection. It's okay, Aidan. I'm here, and I'm not going anywhere. We'll take it one step at a time. Aidan's mansion, evening. Aidan sits in his study, staring out at the city lights. The weight of the conversation with Chloe is still heavy on him. He has never felt so vulnerable and open before, and it's both exhilarating and terrifying. He can't stop thinking about what Chloe said, how she accepts him, flaws and all. She doesn't need him to be perfect. She just needs him to be real. And that's something Aidan has never allowed himself to be. He's spent so many years building walls around himself, walls that are now starting to crumble. The phone rings, breaking his thoughts. It's a message from Sophia. Another message, asking for a meeting. She hasn't given up, and part of him wonders if she ever will. He stares at the message for a long moment, his fingers hovering over the screen. The temptation to meet her, to clear the air once and for all, is strong. But he knows that meeting with her would be a mistake. She doesn't belong in his life anymore. He doesn't need her. He needs someone who sees him for who he really is. Someone who's not tied to his wealth. Someone like Chloe. With a sigh, he deletes the message and puts his phone down. He's done with the past. He's ready to move forward. And he's ready to make a future with Chloe. Chloe's calf the next day. Chloe walks into the cafe, her mind preoccupied with her conversation with Aidan. She's been feeling a strange mix of emotions, hope, excitement, but also fear. Is this real? Is she ready for a relationship with someone like him? As she steps behind the counter, she spots Aidan entering the cafe, a slight smile on his face. There's something about the way he looks at her, no more open, more vulnerable. The guarded CEO is gone, replaced by someone who wants to build something real with her. Hey, Chloe. Aidan greets her softly, his voice warmed as Chloe smiles, feeling a sense of calm wash over her. Hey, Aidan. She leans over the counter, her eyes meeting his. I've been thinking about us. About everything. Aidan walks up to her, his hand reaching out to gently take hers. I know, I've been thinking about it too. And I'm ready. Ready to start something new, something real, with you. Chloe's heart flutters, and for the first time, she feels completely certain. I'm ready to, Aiden. I want this. I want us. They stand there, hand in hand, both of them realizing that they've finally found something that's worth fighting for. There are still challenges ahead, but they're no longer afraid of what the future holds. Together, they're ready to face it. Chloe's cafe morning. The cafe is busier than usual, with customers chatting and the sound of coffee machines filling the air. Chloe is behind the counter, but her mind is preoccupied with thoughts of Aiden. After their deep conversation the other night, things between them have been better than ever. They've finally opened up to each other. But Chloe can't shake the feeling that something's not quite right. Since that moment, she's noticed that Aiden has been more distant at times. It's subtle, but it's there. He's still coming to the cafe, still spending time with her, but there's a coldness that occasionally creeps into his demeanor. He's pulling away. Chloe doesn't want to assume anything, but she can feel the distance growing. The last thing she wants is to overthink it, but she's not blind either. She shakes her head, trying to refocus on her work. Don't worry too much, Chloe, she mutters to herself. You've been through worse. You can handle this. As she pours a cup of coffee, she hears the familiar sound of the door opening, followed by the familiar face of Aiden walking in. Chloe's heart skips a beat, but she quickly hides her unease behind a smile. Hey, Chloe. Aiden greets her, but there's something different in his voice today. It's softer than usual, but there's a sadness in it that wasn't there before. Hi, Aiden, she smiles, but her voice betrays her concern. You okay? You look off today. Aiden stands there for a moment, his gaze shifting between her and the customers around them. He hesitates before answering. Yeah, I'm fine, just thinking a lot. He laughs softly, but there's no humor in it. Work stuff. You know how it is. Chloe frowns slightly. I get it. She hesitates, then looks at him more seriously. You've been like this the past couple of days, Aiden. You don't have to hide it from me. Her voice is soft but persistent. She knows that something is wrong, and it's eating away at her. Aiden sighs, running a hand through his hair. He looks at her, his eyes filled with guilt. It's not that simple, Chloe. He pauses, looking at her with sincerity. I don't want to bring more weight into our relationship, but I need to be honest with you. There are things in my life that I've kept from you, things that I thought would just stay in the past. Chloe's heart races. She doesn't know whether to be concerned or nervous. She doesn't want to lose him, but she also knows that there's no way they can move forward without confronting these issues. Aiden, you don't have to protect me. Whatever it is, I can handle it. We've been through a lot together. Aiden takes a deep breath, his hands gripping the edge of the counter. It's not that simple, he repeats, his voice strained. There are business issues I've been dealing with. And then there's something personal, something I'm not proud of. Chloe waits, her heart pounding. What are you talking about? Aiden glances around nervously, making sure no one is listening. He leans in closer to Chloe, his voice barely above a whisper. There are people from my past who are trying to manipulate me, Chloe. People I thought were gone, but they're back. And they know about us. They know about you. Chloe feels her stomach tighten. Manipulate you. Her voice shakes slightly. What does that mean? Aiden looks into her eyes, his gaze filled with concern. It means they know how to use my vulnerabilities against me, Chloe. They want me to do things I don't want to do. And if I don't comply, they'll expose parts of my past that I've worked hard to bury. Chloe feels a chill run through her. What parts of your past? What are they holding over you? Aidan is silent for a moment, as if he's weighing whether or not he should reveal more. His fingers tighten around his cup. They know about Sophia, about the reason we broke up. He finally says, his voice tinged with bitterness. They know about her betrayal, how she left me when I was nothing. And they're threatening to use that against me, Chloe. Chloe listens carefully, trying to piece together the puzzle. The name Sophia stirs something in her jealousy that she's been trying to keep under control. But she also sees Aidan's pain, and it makes her heart ache for him. Aidan, ... She says softly, her voice filled with empathy. You don't have to carry that weight alone. Whatever it is, we can handle it together. I'm not going anywhere. Aidan looks at her, his expression conflicted. I don't want to drag you into this, Chloe. I'm trying to protect you from all of this mess. Chloe reaches across the table and places her hand over his. Aidan, you don't have to protect me from your past. I understand it, and I'm here for you. All of you. Even the parts you think you have to hide. Aidan's eyes soften, his chest tightening at her words. For the first time in a long while, he feels like he doesn't have to carry this burden alone. Maybe, just maybe, Chloe can help him through this. Aidan's mansion, evening. Aidan is back at his mansion, sitting in his study. His mind is still consumed by everything Chloe and he had discussed earlier. He knows that he can't keep running from his past, but he's unsure of how to move forward. The weight of Sophia's return, the business pressures, and the feelings he has for Chloe are all too much to handle. A knock at the door interrupts his thoughts. It's Lily, his assistant. She steps into the room, her expression serious. Mr. Carrington, there's a meeting scheduled with some investors tomorrow. They're asking for a final decision on the project, and we need your approval. Aidan nods absently, his mind elsewhere. I'll be there. His voice is low, distracted. Lily looks at him closely, sensing that something is off. Is everything all right, sir? You've been a little distracted. Aidan looks up, forcing a small smile. Everything's fine, Lily. Just a lot on my plate. He pauses, then adds with a hint of frustration. But I think it's time I confront some things in my past. For good. Chloe's calf the next day. Chloe is wiping down the counter when Aidan walks in again. But this time, he seems different. His posture is more relaxed, but his expression is still serious. Chloe can tell something's on his mind. She steps out from behind the counter to greet him. Aidan, what's going on? You're quieter than usual. Aidan looks at her for a long moment, his eyes searching. I've made a decision, Chloe. He takes a deep breath. I'm going to confront Sophia. I'm going to deal with my past once and for all. Chloe's heart skips a beat, but she doesn't show her fear. I'm with you, Aidan. Whatever you decide, we'll handle it together. Aidan smiles softly, grateful for her support. Thank you, Chloe. I don't know what I'd do without you. Chloe nods, her expression serious but full of love. You don't have to do this alone, Aidan. I'm here, no matter what. Aidan's mansion, early morning. The mansion is still as quiet as ever. Aidan sits by the window in his study, looking out at the city below. The skyline, once a symbol of his success, now feels like a distant reminder of a life he's ready to move on from. Today is the day he faces his past. The day he confronts Sophia. His heart is heavy with uncertainty, but his mind is made up. He can no longer keep running from the ghost of the woman who left him when he was at his lowest dot. Aidan stands up, pacing the room. Chloe's face comes to his mind, her comforting presence, her patience, and how she stood by him even when things seemed impossible. He knows that whatever happens today, he's ready to face it. For the first time, he's choosing to face his past, not hide from it. He's ready for closure. His phone buzzes, breaking his thoughts. It's a message from Sophia. Aidan, I think we need to talk. Please meet me at the cafe where we used to go. I have something important to say. Aidan stares at the message, a knot forming in his stomach. Sophia wants to talk. But what does she want? To beg for forgiveness? To apologize? Or to drag him back into the life he's worked so hard to escape? With a deep breath, Aidan sets the phone down. It's time to put the past to rest. Chloe's carved out midday. Chloe is behind the counter, trying to focus on the customers coming in and out. But her thoughts are occupied by Aidan. She knows that he's going to meet Sophia today, and she can't shake the feeling of unease. Sophia has always been a part of Aidan's past, someone who left him when he needed her the most. Chloe has no doubts about Aidan's love for her, but she's still afraid. She's afraid of being compared to someone from his past. She's afraid of what might happen if Sophia tries to rekindle something. Chloe forces herself to focus on the tasks at hand, but a familiar voice pulls her out of her thoughts. Chloe. She looks up to see Aidan standing in the doorway, his posture tense, his eyes slightly worn. He looks like he's been up all night, wrestling with the weight of the decision he's made. Aidan... Chloe says softly, stepping around the counter to greet him. She can sense that something's different today. There's a calmness to him, but also a subtle unease that she hasn't seen before. Chloe, I need to talk to you. Aidan's voice is steady, but filled with a new seriousness. I'm about to meet Sophia. I've made the decision to confront her, to put everything behind me. Chloe's heart skips a beat. She knows this moment is coming, but she didn't realize it would hit her so hard. Are you sure you're ready for this? Chloe asks, her voice full of concern. Aidan nods, his eyes meeting hers with a softness that only Chloe can bring out. I've thought about it, Chloe. I know I've been avoiding it for too long. I can't keep running from the past, but I also know that this is the right thing to do. Chloe reaches for his hand, holding it firmly. I'm proud of you, Aidan. You're doing the right thing. But I need you to know I'm here for you, no matter what happens. Aidan smiles faintly, squeezing her hand. Thank you, Chloe. I don't know how I got so lucky to have someone like you in my life. The cafe where it all began, afternoon. The cafe is warm and inviting, but today it feels different. Aidan walks in, his eyes scanning the room until they settle on Sophia, sitting by the window. She looks just as he remembers, beautiful, composed, and with that same air of confidence that had once drawn him to her. But now, all he feels is distant. She's part of a life he's no longer living. Sophia looks up as he approaches, her expression unreadable. Aidan. Sophia's voice is soft, but there's a hint of regret in it. Thank you for coming. She gestures to the chair across from her, and Aidan sits down, his gaze steady. What do you want, Sophia? Aidan asks, his tone direct. Sophia's eyes soften, but there's a hint of guilt in them. I know I hurt you, Aidan. I know I left you when you had nothing. I can't change that, but I want to say I'm sorry. I've realized that I made a huge mistake. I've never stopped thinking about you. Aidan listens, but his heart doesn't waver. Sophia's words feel hollow, like they're meant to fix something that's already been broken beyond repair. I don't need your apology, Sophia, Aidan says, his voice calm but firm. You left me when I was nothing. And now that I've made something of myself, you want me back? That's not how this works. I've moved on. His gaze softens as he adds, I'm with someone now, and I'm ready to let go of you. For good. Sophia's face falls, but she doesn't say anything. She knows there's nothing she can do to change his mind. Aidan has changed. He's no longer the man who would have taken her back. Goodbye, Aidan. I never wanted to hurt you. I just didn't know what I wanted back then. She stands up, her eyes lingering on him for a brief moment before she walks out, leaving Aidan in the cafe, finally free from his past. Chloe's calf, late evening. Aidan walks back into the cafe, his steps slow but steady. He looks different, today lighter, freer. He walks toward Chloe, his eyes meeting hers as she looks up from behind the counter. She sees the change in him immediately. There's a sense of closure in his eyes, something that's been missing for so long. Aidan... Chloe says softly, her voice full of concern and hope. She can see that he's been through something significant, but she doesn't know exactly what it is. Aidan walks up to her and smiles, the weight of everything lifting from his shoulders. I did it, Chloe. I confronted her, and I've finally let go of that past. He reaches for her hand, holding it gently in his. It's just you and me now. I'm ready for that. Chloe smiles, her heart swelling with love for him. I'm so proud of you, Aidan. You've done something brave. And I'm right here, no matter what happens. They stand there, hand in hand, in the quiet of the cafe. For the first time, Aidan feels like he can let go of everything. The past, the fears, the doubts, they're all behind him now. And with Chloe by his side, he knows that he's ready for the future. Chloe's calf morning. The soft buzz of the cafe fills the air. The warmth of the coffee machines and the cheerful chatter of customers offering a calm atmosphere. Chloe is behind the counter, her hands busy as usual, but today there's a sense of peace in her heart. She looks around the cafe, feeling a deep sense of gratitude for the life she's built here, and for the man who has changed everything. Since the day Aidan came back into her life, everything has been different. They've faced challenges, and their relationship has grown stronger with every passing day. But what strikes Chloe the most is the calmness she feels when she's with him. He's not just the CEO, the billionaire businessman she once thought he was. He's Aidan, the man who's faced his past, let go of his fears, and is now ready to build a future with her. She smiles as she hears the door open. The bell rings, and Chloe looks up to see Aidan walking in. He's no longer the man who hides behind his wealth or his status. He's ready for love, ready to face the future without any more hesitation. His eyes meet hers, and the warmth in them makes her heart skip a beat. Morning. Chloe, his voice is soft, filled with a quiet confidence that only someone who's truly at peace with themselves can have. Morning. Aidan. Chloe's smile widens as she walks over to greet him. Her heart feels lighter every time she sees him, and the connection between them feels deeper than it ever has before. Aidan looks around the cafe, his gaze landing on the familiar He's here, not because he has to be, but because he chooses to be. With her, I've been thinking about something, Chloe, Aidan says, his voice serious but filled with sincerity. We've been through so much already, and I know we've only just started, but I want to make sure that whatever happens, we're both in this together. I want to build a future with you. Chloe feels a warmth spread through her chest, her heart racing at his words. Aiden, I want that too. I want to be with you. I want to build something real with you. She takes a step closer to him, her hand reaching out to gently take his. I'm not afraid anymore. Aiden's gaze softens, and he squeezes her hand. I'm not afraid anymore either. For the first time, I feel like I've found something worth fighting for. Aiden's mansion, late afternoon. The mansion is quiet as Aiden and Chloe sit on the large couch in the living room, their hands intertwined. Aiden looks around the room, the place he once saw as a symbol of his success and isolation. But today, it feels different. It feels like home. Chloe is beside him, and with her, everything finally feels right. You know, I never thought I'd find peace like this, Aiden says, his voice reflective. For so long, I thought success and power were everything. But now, I realize that they don't mean anything if you don't have someone to share them with. Chloe looks at him, her eyes soft. I'm glad you found that out, Aiden. It's not about wealth or power. It's about being real, about sharing moments with someone who truly understands you. And I'm lucky that I found that with you. Aiden smiles, pulling her closer. You've given me something I never thought I could have, love. True love. And for the first time, I feel like I'm ready to share everything with you, without any fear or hesitation. Chloe rests her head on his shoulder, her heart full. We've both been through a lot to get here. But now, I feel like we can handle anything, together. A year later, Chloe Escath. The cafe is still busy, but today is different. There's a celebratory feeling in the air as Chloe and Aiden stand behind the counter together, their fingers intertwined as they prepare drinks for the customers. It's been a year since Aiden made the decision to open his heart to her, and everything has changed. Their relationship has flourished. Their future is bright. The cafe is still Chloe's domain, and Aiden has taken a step back from his empire. He's still involved with his company, of course, but now he and Chloe work side by side, balancing their work and love. Aiden has learned that success is important, but it's the love and connection they've built that gives everything meaning. Aiden looks at Chloe, his smile full of pride and happiness. I never thought this would be my life, but now I wouldn't change a thing. I have you, Chloe. That's all I need. Chloe smiles back, her heart swelling with emotion. And I have you, Aiden. This is just the beginning, isn't it? Aiden pulls her into a gentle kiss, and the cafe, the world around them, fades into the background. It's just the two of them, and for the first time, everything feels perfect.